What's going on, guys? Marcus from Wall Street Assassins, about to start a class in a few moments, waiting for a few students to join. Omar, what's going on, bro?
Yeah, what's up, bro?
Hanging out here, man. Waiting for the market to start. About to start a lesson. How was your holiday?
It was pretty good, man. That was like the longest holiday and the longest weekend, bro. I'm like, oh my god.
It felt like that for me too. I'm like, oh my God, is the market open today?
I kept staring at my Robinhood and my TV.
Bro, I was about to start paper trading just to have the feeling again. But sometimes it's good to clear your mind, come back fresh.
Yeah, I hear you, but still, man, I'd rather stay busy.
We're addicted at this point.
Yeah, bro, I'm in too deep.
In too deep, man. What you watching today?
I was on Moderna. I saw Moderna dropping.
Mhm.
And BA. I
Oh,
don't
I
know
was
how it's
looking
gonna
at Boeing
react.
too.
Yeah,
Boeing
I
looks
don't know.
stressed out, but hopefully we get some volatility today. That's what I'm really hoping for. It looked like we're still trapped. I'm looking at the SPY right now. We're trapped in between 372 and then that 368 point right there. I think if we break 373, then I'll feel safe to get in towards that 375. 375 should be the next possible resistance. Then we could push up towards this make believe 378 area. But I think 373 to 375, and then once we start coming back down, we drop from 370 down to that 368, which is going to be the break of the trade line. You can see it's kind of holding the trade line right now. That's the only bullish part that I'm liking. We're holding that trade line, but we need to break that 373. We tested it multiple times. It looked like a kind of like a triple top going on over here. So definitely want to wait to see if it breaks that. I'm about to get started with the watch list, but I'm gonna check Boeing out for you too. Definitely, since you called it out. I was looking at Boeing this morning. I think I don't really like Boeing too much. It looked like Boeing's trapped also. 226 area has been resisted multiple times. I think if we break that 226, we could start at least pushing up towards 235 areas. You could kind of see the stock went flat over here, some area of resistance. So 226 towards that 235, 237 area. And then we could possibly gap fill towards 244. But if we come back down, it's kind of holding this 216 level as some type of support. I think if we break this 216 level, we could probably retest that 210 level and probably start coming back down. You can see that the MACD is on the bearish side over here, and the RSI is
Hmm.
kind of in the indecision. It could go either way.
Okay.
I seen you was watching Baba too. Baba,
Yeah.
definitely. I have Baba on my watch list this week as well too. Baba, big sell off. You know, they had like that antitrust with China, and they think they're like a whole monopoly. But it's very oversold, although it's still dropping. That's why I said last week we shouldn't get into Baba until it shows a sign of reversal, and that's because of what happens right now. Even though
Right.
we're oversold, we could continue to oversell and keep on selling off. So definitely want to wait for a sign of reversal. And you could kind of see that on that whole drop that we've seen last week. It's been underneath the trade line as resistance, and it hasn't been back above it. So that's why I'm waiting for Baba to break at least 232 before we could start pushing up towards the 250 area to confirm a nice uptrend, getting back above that trade line. Other than that,
Hmm.
I'm probably just gonna wait until it breaks above that level. We could drop from 210 down towards like the 295 area over here. 295 was some type of support, but I think it's just so oversold on the 180 day. It's oversold on the 20-day. You could kind of see like the 20-day looks like it wants to confirm an uptrend. Just want to wait until it breaks that 180-day trade line first before I actually believe it. But right now it looks like it's trying to break the 20-day trade line, as you can see over here at like 221. So it's still trying to reject it as well too. You can see it's pushing down. So definitely want to wait for that 232, and then we could start pushing up a little bit higher.
That's good.
Next one I'm going to be watching is actually going to be Tesla. Tesla looks pretty good as well too. Um, Tesla has resistance at this 670 area. We tested it multiple times and it hasn't broken it. We're testing 670 right now, especially since Trump just signed the COVID bill and everything like that. Everybody's going to get $600. Should bring some type of excitement keyword should. So we're going to wait for that 670 to hold and break. So once we break that 670, we could start pushing up to 680, probably retest the 695. Once we break that level, we could probably make a new high. Other than that, if we start pulling back down 660 on Tesla, and then we could start falling back down towards like the 640s and retesting the SMA over here. I think that's all for me. If you guys are watching any other stocks, you guys could put in the chat room. What other stocks? You said Moderna as well too.
Yeah, Moderna.
See Bitcoin over here at like, I think it was like 2,700 now. Crazy. Moderna looks like it's double bottoming over here. Good sign, oversold. Want to wait for that upward trend over here. It is bearish. You can see that it basically broke the SMA and it's basically been on a bearish trend ever since. So definitely want to be cautious since it's on a bearish trend. And then if we jump over to the 180 day, we were just on the 20 day. The 180 day, you can see that we're finding some type of support over here as well. Just want to make sure we hold above it. I think once we break above 125, above that 180 day trade line, 125, then we could start pushing up towards 134 and start reversing. But right now you can see it's basically on a reverse step and staircase. And if we basically break 119, we could sink down to 107. Even though it's oversold, we've seen it with Baba, we've seen it with other stocks, it could continue to basically sell off. So we definitely want to wait to see if it basically breaks that 125, then it starts pushing up towards 133 and get up into those higher brackets. SQ, nice one, Sully. So SQ was a nice runner. I think it had a nice pullback, just like anything should, after a nice run up. So SQ is a nice one to watch. I just want to clear some of these lines over here real quick. SQ, we got some type of support at 225, got some type of resistance at 236. Right now, one thing I do like is that it's trying to become bullish because it's trying to get above that SMA. In the trade line over here. So as soon as we start getting above this trade line, I believe if we start holding above 236, we could start pushing up towards these levels over here at 240 and then start pushing up towards that 247 level. So I'm just going to set alert. I think SQ is a good stock overall. I think it just ran up. You can see it was overbought at these levels, which caused that sell-off. So we definitely want to wait for 236 to be broken before we can start pushing up. And then if we start coming back down, 226 needs to be broken, and then we can start retesting the 219 level. I'm just going to set my alerts on that one. I think that's pretty much it for me so far. Pfizer and Apple. There you go, Lena. Lena always has like some good call outs. I was looking at Apple over the weekend as well too. I was thinking Apple's probably pushing up, trying to get up towards that 138 level. It's pushing up this morning. Definitely want to be cautious. A lot of things look very overbought. That's why I feel like we got to be very cautious this week as well. We could be buying into the news, but the market's looking very overbought right now as well too. You can see the same thing with Apple. We're getting up to overbought levels on the RSI. 135 seems to be some type of resistance previously, and so definitely want to wait for that 135 to be broken before we could start pushing up towards that previous high of 138. If we start coming back down, I'd probably look to get in on the break of 132 towards that 130, and then we could start dropping down towards 129 and start going a little bit lower. What's the ticker for Pfizer? Oh, I got it already. All right, so Pfizer over here. Pfizer looks a little bearish as well too. You can see it's below the SMA line over here. Definitely wanted to get back above that SMA line. It's trying to be bullish right now. You can see we had a crossover. RSI is in the middle, has the opportunity to do both. I believe above 38, we could start pushing up towards 38.70 and going a little bit higher. And if we start pulling back, you could kind of see like 37 has been some type of support. We could start dropping down towards 36. 35. Make sure you check to see how these contracts are moving. These are very small movements for this stock. It doesn't make crazy moves, but it does make moves if there's news. So you don't want to be holding something and it's not really doing anything. So make sure you're getting that type of volume. Make sure the volume is close to average volume before you guys look to get in as well too. Disney's a nice one too. They just came out with that new movie Soul. I haven't watched it. Anybody watch it? Don't spoil it for me. 179 needs to be broken. For me, you can see that we're kind of going flat. I don't like when stocks go flat, especially when we're trading options. When you guys have a stock that's going flat, it's a killer for contracts. You guys going to get eaten up by theta. So definitely want to wait for that break of that 179 first before we can start pushing up. You guys could get in a little bit early from like 175 towards that 179 if you get a good crossover, but that true breakout is going to be that 179.45, and then we could start pushing up probably towards like that 185 level, 190 level. I believe it had got upgraded to as well. Yeah, we got upgraded to like 201, but I don't believe all the upgrades, so definitely want to be cautious. Wait for that 179, then we could start pushing up towards like the 185 and a little bit higher from there. And if we start pulling back, it's trying to hold above that trade line, as you can see. If we start pulling back down 172, and then we could retest that 167. So I think that's going to be it for us today. Keeping a small watch list going into the week. Last week was a holiday week, so we didn't really have too much volume. We had the volume, we were moving up and down, but the volume was a little bit lower than expected. So definitely want to see if we break this kind of like triple top on the SPY. You can see we're pushing up right now too. She's trying to do a call out already. So wait until she breaks that 273, because it tested this 272, 60, 80 areas. So definitely want to check, wait for it to break these levels first at 272, 80, 273, and then we can start pushing up towards that 375. I'm sorry, 372 towards that 375 area. Definitely want to wait for that area to be broken first because it was tested multiple times, and then wait for that reversal if we start to reject this area. So definitely want to set our alerts, and that's going to be what I'm going to be watching for today. If you guys have any more questions for me, you guys know where to find me on Instagram. You guys know how to message me on Discord, and I hope you guys all have a profitable day. Later.
Thanks, bro.
Anytime, bro.